Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on WakeUpCallDT.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT, as well as on Facebook Live on Facebook.com/LiveNowDT, inside of the Cafe Kubal studios, and here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora this morning, guest number one that we had here for you in hour number one, David Walker, and here in hour two, leading us here is Alex Popp, who has spent many of his days at Vermont Academy doing a lot of great things, molding young men on and off the court to have fantastic careers in college as well as move forward professionally. So it is my pleasure to have him back on the show. I know it's been a bit, and I very much appreciate him taking some time. So let's bring him in. Alex, how you doing today?
Hey, Dan, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So Alex, first and foremost, bring me into Vermont Academy and just what your time there has meant, and in this chapter of your life, just what you can say Vermont has done for you and that you've tried to do for Vermont Academy.
I'm super grateful for 6.5 years at Vermont Academy, and it gave me a platform to be kind of a CEO of my own program, and gave me the opportunity to call my own timeout, make my own mistakes. But that stuff's for me, and the true body of work, and I think how I will be evaluated and judged is the success of the others. The families that we worked with, most notably the players, the student athletes, and I feel like we did a really good job at developing and cultivating talent in a short amount of time at Vermont Academy, and the proof is in the proverbial pudding now. The guys are, on to bigger and better things, and it's been a lot of fun to kind of follow their success moving forward, because it's definitely a stepping stone. It's a launching pad, and I feel like everybody who was involved took full advantage of it. So that's something I'm certainly proud of.
And for you, Alex, with coaching experience, D1, D3, the NBA G League, and prep, what can you say about your coaching experience up to this point, and what it's done for you, and what it can do for you as you move forward in your life, and onto greener pastures, and constantly elevating and progressing yourself? What can you say your experience has taught you?
Good question, Dan. First and foremost, I would say that relationships matter the most. When you're younger and trying to get into the business, it's harder to see kind of how that all manifests. But when you have success and you're able to sustain success, you see, exactly how the relationships are just, paramount. And then I would say you gain enough experience and momentum, you see kind of what works and what doesn't. And you see what works, with your personality and with your strengths and weaknesses versus, what may not work. And I think that those are the things I take with me, is the relationships are forever, and kind of seeing, what works in the game of life and the game of basketball. So I'm super grateful that I was able to have that experience and kind of the ability to see the forest through the trees.
So for you, Alex, moving forward, what do you have your sights set on? What are you hoping for, with so many connections that you've made and so many young men that you've aided and you've helped? What is coming up next for Alex Popp?
I'm going to continue to serve as a resource for families who are looking to bridge the gap and kind of be a connector of sorts with work in my relationships. And there's a strong market for kids who are looking to transition to prep schools or for postgraduate years or even earlier. And I intend on serving as kind of that liaison to bridge the gap. And I'm looking forward to it. It's already up and running, and with college basketball and just athletics in general being super uncertain and not too stable, I think there are a lot of for postgraduate opportunities just because college basketball supply and demand is not in the favor of high school kids right now. So I'm going to be kind of, a connector of sorts, a basketball connector, a basketball consultant, and I'm looking forward to even growing my network even more, with intention, Dan, of getting back into coaching the following year.
So for you, Alex, and like you said, such an interesting year because of everything that's gone on with Corona. So this prep year, the prep year that some people would be taking to say, hey, I want some more time. Maybe it took me longer to develop. Maybe I got into the sport later. Maybe I got injured. Whatever the reason may be, but I want to get more exposure. Maybe I want to go to a different state or go to a bigger name this so I can get more exposure. Whatever the reason was for prep school before, because of what's going on with college basketball and collegiate athletics and athletics in general due to Corona, it's even more important, like you said, that kids have like another year or they kind of wait it out, so to speak, while they continue to play in hopes that college basketball will get back to normal. So how much does that kind of elevate the world of prep school even more, and how can you capitalize on that for the kids as a liaison in making sure that we don't take Corona as a bad thing, but essentially we utilize it as a platform to extend what some people get to see of these young athletes in hopes that they will get the right place when it comes to their college basketball days?
Well, I think I'll start by saying that there's a lot of different variables and kind of understanding that there's a lot of different types of prep schools for different types of student athletes, different types of families, different styles of play, and even location. I think there's a perception that prep schools are exclusively in New England, and there's a variety of postgraduate options up and down the Eastern Seaboard. I'm taking the time this week to visit with some of the postgraduate schools in Florida, and there's postgraduate options in Virginia. Some are military, and then there's prep schools that are in New Jersey and Pennsylvania as well. So there are more options than maybe what the perceived understanding might be. But then there's all kinds of dynamics with, the coaching fit with the player. Not everybody's giving out full scholarships, and not all of these schools are as, well-resourced as others. So there's a lot of moving parts, and I think what I hope to do is kind of make the process more efficient for both the prep school coach and for the family who is trying to navigate this deal. And all along, the student athlete has big dreams, and then you can't really visit all of these schools because of the pandemic. So it's a super tricky, nuanced process, and I think that, I also intend on, working with families who I think are a best fit for me. I don't plan on taking on hundreds and hundreds of clients. That would just be watered down and oversaturated. My intention is to have, anywhere from 10 to 15 families who I can really help out with. And that way the quality is what shines through. This is definitely, for me, it's not going to be about the quantity. It's going to be about the quality. And it's about, building more relationships, helping people out, and kind of keeping myself relevant so I can, get back into coaching with a lot of meaningful relationships that are out there and alive in the recruiting world.
Speaking here with Alex Popp, in this interesting time of your career, Alex, like you said, wanting to get back into coaching, being a liaison, quality over quantity, which I'm all about, and I applaud that because I live that every day. For you to navigate through this, what are you excited about? What can you tell me about, the fact of, Yeah, I intend to get back into coaching. Right now, I'm going to be working with, like let's say 10 to 15 families. I could be working with people anywhere. I want to find the right fit for me. What are you excited about in this transitionary period, and how are you tackling this transitionary period of your life?
Good question. I guess I'm excited about having a chance to spend even more time with the relationships that are going to be involved here. Because when you're coaching your own season and preparing and working with young people, there isn't a whole lot of time, like none at all, right? I mean, you're preparing for your future opponents, right? You're constantly evaluating and cutting film of your own team, constantly meeting with your own team, constantly working with administrators and colleagues internally. So what ends up occurring during the basketball season as a principal head coach is you don't have a whole lot of time to pay attention to the outside world. And so for me, while I will obviously miss being in the trenches as a head coach of a nationally relevant program, I'm going to take full advantage of having a little more access to time. I'll be able to allocate more time and resources to the outside world, the external, and for me, that's going to be super valuable in the long run because the recruiting relationships obviously matter if you intend on having a sustainable career as a coach, whether it's in college basketball or prep school basketball. And then to keep my basketball fix, I intend on intimately following several programs and franchises through watching film and synergy and just getting my hands on as much film as possible to be able to keep learning. Because I'll go back to when you're a head coach, you don't have a whole lot of time for the outside world. I can't just put down my work and watch every Syracuse game in the ACC because I have to work on a scout for the upcoming week where we might have to play New Hampton, St. Thomas More, and Brewster. And there's no time to just watch, to casually watch college or NBA basketball. So I'm going to also take advantage of the time and watch more film and continue to grow as a coach inside the lines. So I think that striking that balance will be important for me, but I'm certain that it's going to be a totally different allocation of time, Dan. So I'm looking forward to that. It's different. It definitely is going to be different.
Speaking here with Alex Popp, a longtime coach and molder of young minds with D1, D3 prep and NBA G League experience here on Wake Up Call inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Alex, how could this time, like you said, when you're a coach, you're scouting and you're in it, right? And what I find, and it's both figurative and literal, but what I find is when I get in a plane and I'm above the earth, I'm above, what's going on and whatnot. When I pull myself out of it and I see the big picture, it helps me to gain clarity. And I find that every time I kind of travel and pull myself out of it and look down at the world, I gain more clarity. At this time in your life, you're pulling yourself out and you're essentially flying over the world of coaching and can gain more clarity. How does this moment in the history of Alex Popp potentially create an even better coach moving forward?
You nailed it, Dan. You nailed it. I love the analogies. It's already occurring. I think you realize you can hold on to your why, right? And you can kind of take a step back and get a better understanding for what your principles are, what you believe in. And again, your strengths and weaknesses and how they might align with who you work with moving forward. I'm very much ambitious, and I'm very passionate. I believe in a diversity model, and I believe in using basketball as a tool, a vehicle to create opportunities for young people in their lives moving forward, and to teach lessons, right? And that goes for everybody involved, not just the players, the coaches, and administrators. We're all learning through that platform, but I believe in all of those things, and I'm going to continue, like you said, you take a step back, and you can get that bird's eye view of 30,000 feet above ground. And I would always tell our players, you want to see the forest and the trees. You know, I have all of the cliches, right? I have all of them, and I do understand what you're saying here, because I'm going to continue to learn about exactly how I want to approach things, and I think it will make me sharper moving forward. So spot on with your analogy, Dan, and I'm looking forward to learning more, but I've already done a good amount of work with exactly what you're describing. It is healthy, and it does feel invigorating. Like I'm re-energized as a result of it.
Two final things here before I let you go, Alex. What do you want to say moving forward? What do you want to say to Vermont Academy about your time there and about your moments there, and how do you kind of close that door, so to speak?
Well, just thank you for giving me the platform. Period at the end. I mean, we had players who weren't necessarily on the NBA radar, and Jordan Wara and Bruce Brown, and those guys have contracts with the, Milwaukee Bucks and Brooklyn Nets respectively now. We had McDonald's All-Americans. We sent over 30 players, Division I. We took full advantage of the platform. So thank you. Period. The end. Thank you. I have no hard feelings, no regrets. We had 3 different head of schools and 4 or 5 different ADs, which was an incredible learning experience, because it was almost like dog years, Dan, where I got to learn just an incredible amount in a short amount of time as a result of all those different transitions. And we were able to kind of sustain success with, the areas that are most important, in my opinion, to prep school basketball. It's developing young people, developing, student athletes, college matriculation, or just matriculation in general, right? Because young people, in today's game are trying to play professionally. So matriculation in general, and then the byproduct of the matriculation and development that we were able to cultivate was a whole lot of winning. We won a NEPSAC championship, which was the first of its kind in school history, and we just won a lot of games. We played on a lot of national platforms and showcases and tournaments like the Hoop Hall and Slam Dunk to the Beach. So I think thank you summarizes it all, and I'm sitting back with no regrets and feeling really grateful for my time at VA, and I'm looking forward to moving forward.
And the final piece to that is the list is so long with players that you have aided while you were there, and things that you've done, relationships you built, the Miamis, the Texas Techs, the Harvards, the Marquettes, the, Xaviers, the Vanderbilts, the Rutgers, and Louisville's, Penn States, and whatnot. Wake Forest, thank you, I am sure. Any notable, of all the guys that have moved on to college and professional careers, anybody that really, really sticks out to you? I know it's a long list of players. I know you named a couple of them, but any ones that you like to make mention of?
Yeah, Dan, and this is low-hanging fruit because this is a Syracuse native. Probably my favorite all-time player who I've coached. And a lot of it was timing. A lot of it was chemistry. A lot of it was just his personality and his foundation. but Simir Torrance, who's at Marquette, Syracuse native. Honestly, his group, his leadership, his personality, how open-minded he was, and how much he loved the game of basketball, how passionate he was, how much he wanted to work, how much he invested into the relationship and into the program and into the school and into the community. I walk away after 6.5 years with Simir Torrance really at the apex of all of the relationships, and I really hope that he can hear this at some point, because I've never told him that, and I don't think I realized that, Dan, until you asked me. But Simir Torrance is definitely the most impressive student athlete who I ever got the chance to work with. And again, I think it's a combination of a lot of different variables. But that dude was a lot of fun to coach. I'll just put it that way.
That coming from Alex Popp. Alex, I appreciate your time, and thank you so much for this morning, and would love to definitely have you back and continue the conversation, especially through this new journey of your life and where you're going. Would love to, keep tabs on how things are going and where things are at. So I'd love to have you back on here very soon, and I'm very thankful that you spent some extended time with us today, so thank you for that.
Yeah, my pleasure, Dan. And if you know any young student athletes who are looking to go the postgraduate route, just give me a shout, let me know, and we'll be able to tell you really quickly if we can or cannot serve them. But really appreciate the platform this morning, and look forward to keeping in touch with you as well.
Well, thank you, sir. Stay safe and stay well, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, be safe, everybody. Take care.
Take care. And coming here from Alex Popp this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, hanging out with us inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. We'll take our final step aside of the show for today, and we'll be back right after this, where sports meets life. Two fantastic guests with fantastic conversations, starting off a fantastic week. Right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where I love to be every day.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecabal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpazsnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you? The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Head up there Tuesday through Sunday, but download their app first on the Google Play or Apple App Store. You'll have their entire menu at your fingertips, as well as contactless pay, and you'll be able to drive right up to their drive-through window, pick up, grab, and go, keeping us safe, making it easy, as well as providing flavors that will make your taste buds dance every day of the year. So make sure you get up there to the beautiful, wonderful Millhouse Market. When it comes to the muffins, their brick oven pizzas, their sandwiches, their Cobb salad, their sun-dried tomato mozzarella bread, how do you not get hungry? And every single time I say, this is my favorite, it changes, because then something better. But then I go back to the other. But then I find that one's to be good. They're all good. That's the reality of the fact. On this menu, there are so many different types of food and different styles, and my palate loves it all. So, find your way to the Millhouse Market today. 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. Worth the drive every single time. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, you've been listening on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. You've been watching on Facebook Live on facebook.com/livenowdt every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You could search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora's archives on Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube, as well as MixLR itself, iTunes and Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Podbean, simply by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora or searching Wake Up Call DT, all one word, to find us on all of these beautiful places to archive the shows, all these beautiful avenues: Stitcher, TuneIn, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Spotify, MixLR, YouTube, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And, of course, a very proud and special thank you to all of our Central and Upstate New York partners: Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Wildcat Sports Pub, Chick-fil-A, Cicero, Avicolis. Use the promo code online at myavicolis.com. That's AVICOLLIS.com. And use the promo code AVS10 at myavicolis.com. That's AVS10 for 10% off of all of your online orders. Honda City of Liverpool, Trapper's Pizza Pub, the Millhouse Market, and Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. Go to maandpazpopcorn.com, whether you're doing in-store pickup or having it delivered to any one of the 50 states here in the great United States of America. You can go to maandpazpopcorn.com and use the promo code DT20, that's DT20, for 20% off on me. So make sure that you do that today. With that being stated, I want to thank you for being a part of today's show. And as I said at the beginning of the show, due to some just kind of getting healthier here, last night's had a little bit of pain in the chest. We're okay, we're here, but I'm very honest with all my listeners and my viewers and readers and whatnot. So we're going to end today's show a little bit early because I need to rest, and I want to follow good doctor's orders here. So I will go rest, and God willing, be with you here tomorrow morning. So I appreciate any prayers being sent my way. I obviously send prayers your way, and I love you all. I appreciate y'all. I thank you all, and I hope you have a fantastic day. To my friends, to my family members, to all of the businesses that I partner with, and I'm very thankful for that, to all of the wonderful people that I have in my life, as well as, the animals like Lily, my little daughter. I want to send you all my love. To my grandfathers and my grandmothers in heaven, and to my friends up there and loved ones too. God bless to you, and may we always stay together through God, and I know we will. Take care of yourselves, folks. Be good to each other. I'll talk with you soon, God willing, and I'm sending you all my love. So be good, be safe, be well, and as always, God bless, no stress, do your best. This is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Cafe Kubal Studios, and I care about you.